Hey guys, it's Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at one of my favorite deck builder games, spoiler, and it is called Tanto Cuore. Tanto Cuore is a deck builder, which is a game where you're going to use cards to purchase other cards. From Japanime Games, it plays 2 to 4 players. You can knock it out in about 60 minutes, depending on how quickly you play. It says ages 14 and up. I may stick to that. I think it's 14 and up. 12 and up. I would actually stick to probably 14 and up because, yeah, it's anime artwork, but some of it can be a little scantily clad. So keep that in mind. So what you're going to do in this game is you are going to be the master of a house. You're trying to hire maids to come and work for your house. You're going to have some private maids that are going to come stay in your quarters. They're going to give you some special abilities. You're going to have some chief maids that you're going to get in your quarters for some special points. You're going to try to get some of the other maids that are maybe sisters to get in your private quarters to score bonus points because you have all the sisters. That's kind of a loose, tricky theme. At the end of the day, you're using cards to buy other cards to score a pile of points. That's what the game is. Let's go down to the table, see how it plays. Okay, so here's a game of Tanto Cuore set up for 2 players. I'm going to go through setup kind of quickly. I'm not going to read the cards because the text is really small, so when I buy some cards, I will explain those to you. So to set up, you're going to put the stack of private maids here, face down, shuffle, flip 2. They're over here. You're going to put the 1 love cards, the 2 love cards, and the 3 love cards. These are essentially the cards you're going to use to hire some maids. You're going to put the chambermaid chiefs here in their own stacks. Put the illness cards here. They're the purple cards that are going to affect other players. You're going to pick 10 of the 16 different types of maids in the box. You're going to pull out all the stacks, all the cards of one stack. There's 10 in each stack. And you're going to give each player 7 1 love cards and 3 of this chambermaid chief. Call it. All right, and then we're going to start playing. So this is a deck builder. So what you're going to do is you're going to use cards in your hand to hire new cards to make your hand better. And the cards are going to give you special abilities. They're going to score you points. And you're going to try to get some of the cards into your chamber, your private quarters. And they're going to give you some special abilities and be worth points at the end of the game for some of them. So that's how you play. Let's go ahead and go through a few rounds. So this player will be first. They're going to shuffle their cards. They don't really have a ton of different variety, but we'll shuffle it anyway. You're going to draw 5, because you always take however many cards you have, divide by 2. At least that's the normal deck building rule. And then, what this player has is 4 love cards and a Colette. So, at the beginning of the game, Colette is worth nothing. She just gets in your hand, she's clogging you up. She's worth a point at the end of the game, but during the game, she's worthless. You can get her in your chamber for 2 service. You can see that little icon right there, the little hand with the 2. That's a service. On your turn, you only have 1 service until you can play some cards. So this card is worthless. We're just going to discard it. So we have 4 love that we can buy other cards with. So we can buy 1 card because we only have 1 employee. So on your turn, you have 1 service, 1 employee, unless you play cards that give you other abilities. Employee means I can buy 1 maid. If you have more than 1 employee, you can spread your total love amount across the number of maids. And I need to quit saying buy. I need to say hire. So I have 4 love. I can hire some maids. So what do I want to do here? I want to hire... let's hire... I want to hire some Crescent sisters. So I'm going to hire Azure Crescent. No, let's do this one. She gives me 2. Let's put these in a different order. And so all the Crescent sisters are next to each other. So I'm going to hire Kagari Ichinamoya because she gives me 2 service. You can see down on this corner, the 2 extra hands or fingers. So when I play this card in front of me, I'm going to have 2 extra service to do other things. So when you purchase a card, it goes into your discard pile. You're going to draw back up to 5. So I drew up to 5. All right, then it's this player's turn. They're going to shuffle. 3, 4, 5. All right, 5 cards. And they have Same situation as I had. 4 love and a Colette. At this point, they can do nothing with Colette. So they have 4 love. So let's go ahead and throw that in their discard because they're going to play it. Let's see. They're going to buy... hire. They're going to hire a Crescent Sister. And they're going to hire this one because it gives them an extra heart. You can see down there in the bottom. So the way this sister works, you see it has a chambermaid bonus right there. If I can get this sister with either 2 or 3, I get extra bonus points. So if I get 2, it's worth a certain amount of points. If I can get all 3 of them in my chamber, they're worth even more points. So that's something this player is going to try to do. So back to me. I now have 2 Colettes and 3 love. So I can't do anything with Colettes because I only have 1 service and I need 2 to get them in the chamber. So I have, whoops, I had 3 love, but I actually put 1 in there. So I have 3 love. I'm going to hire, what do you do? For each set of saffron you have as a chambermaid, you gain additional points. So I'm going to collect her. And I want to get as many of her in my chamber as I can because they're going to be worth a pile of points. So I hire her. She goes into my deck. I have to shuffle. And then I'll draw back up to 5. Alright, so now I'm going to start getting some of my good cards in my hand because I ran out of cards. Alright, so this player, same situation again. The first couple hands are kind of similar. So I have 3 love and 2 Colleens, or Colettes. I can't do anything with Colette right now. So I have 3 love. So I'm going to hire... I'm just going to be a jerk. I'm going to hire a bad habit. So this is going to go on my opponent. If they have 4 more of these in their private quarters at the end of the game, each one's worth -2. Right now they're worth -1. So this player's going to put it in their private quarter, and they now have -1 that they're going to try to dig their way out of. So that is that. Back to this player. Oh, and they need to shuffle. I'm going to try to hire a private maid. Maybe put something in the private quarters so you can see how that works, and then we'll be done because it's pretty self-explanatory after all that. That's the majority of the actions you can do. So they have their hand. So now it's back to this player. Alright, so I have 3 love, a Colette, and a Kagari. So that's exciting. So let's get something in the quarter. So I'm going to play Kagari down. 1 service to play her. She's going to give me 2 additional service. So I'll play her down. She gives me 2 additional service. For those 2 additional service, I'm going to place Colette in my private quarters. So she'll go right there. Now she's out of my hand. So I don't have to keep cycling through her. And now I have 3 love. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hire... I'm going to hire another saffron because I'm collecting these. So saffron for me goes into my discard pile, and then I'll draw up to 5. And there we go. All right, back to this player. So they have 2 Colettes and 3 love. So again, the Colettes can do nothing because they don't have 2 service right now. So they'll discard those. So they have 3 love that they're going to play. Normally you play them out in front of you instead of putting them in your discard, but just know that's not what I'm doing. So for their 3 love, they want to... They're going to take a Crescent Sister. Because I think they already took 1, but I can't remember which one they took, so that's fine. So they're going to take a Rogue Crescent. Hire a Rogue Crescent. That's going to help them collect the Crescent sets. Then they're going to draw back up to 5. And it is now my turn. Alright, see what we got here. Alright, so I have a Colette, 3 love, and a Saffron. So I'm not gonna chamber Saffron right now because I'm gonna play her. She gives me an extra 2 love. And then I'm going to play these 3 love. So that'll give me 5 love. Not playing Colette right now because she doesn't do anything. So I have 5 love. So I'm gonna hire a private maid. So the way private maids work, they don't go into your discard pile. They go directly into your private quarters, and they're going to give you a special ability. So in this case, I hired Eugenie Fontaine. She's going to let me, at the beginning of my turn, look at one random card in another player's hand. After, you may allow that player to look at one random card from your hand. If you do, swap cards. So this is going to help me maybe get some cards that I don't have or that I want. And that's what she looks like. So she's in my private quarters. I now have that special ability. You can only ever have one of these active at a time. So if I hired another one, they would go on top and I would have that special ability. When one of those is hired, you'll flip another one. And now we have 2 more that we can hire. So that's this player's turn. They'll draw back up to 5. So I have 2. Shuffle. Okay. So I'll put that the same way so I remember. Okay. So it's this player's turn. They have a Rogue Crescent, 3 Love, and a Colette. So what they're going to do is they're going to play Rogue, not as a chamber, but they're going to play her for the heart. So they have 1 heart plus 3 more. So they have 4 love. Colette can't do anything. So they have 4 loves that they can buy. And what they're going to do is they're going to buy a 2 love card. That's going to help them have more cards to be able to hire more people. Draw 1. Got to shuffle. Draw back up to 5. Boom. Alright. So then the card is here. I'm going to play one more round and then I'll show you some of the artwork on these cards. So back to this player. In the beginning of my phase, I can take 1 random card from another player's hand. After, I may allow that player to look at one of my cards at random, and then we can swap. So I'll just take this one, and then they will take this one. So we're not going to swap. So they're going to keep Rogue. I'm going to keep my 1 love. But I have Saffron and 2 love. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a service. I'm going to chambermaid her because she costs 1 to chambermaid. So she's now in here for points. And now I have 2 Colettes that I can't play, and I have 2 love. So with those 2 love, I'm going to buy a bad habit, and I'm going to give it to this player because they did that to me. So now they have a negative point in their quarter. All right, so that is that. Back to this player. Hope I have to draw back up to 5, even though that's the end of the round, but I'll still draw up. Because I'm going to be done after this. All right, so I draw up. This player has Rogue, Rogue, and 3 love. So they have 2 rogues and 3 loves. So I did buy the same sister twice, which is not great. So for my 1 service, I'm going to chambermaid her because she costs 1. So she'll go into the private quarters. And then I need to put that separate because nope, we can't get rid of it. All right, so that's gone. And then I can't do anything with that one, so I'll discard it. And then I have 3 love. So with that 3 love, I'm going to hire this one because she will give me 2 service. So it goes to the discard pile. I'll draw 5. All right, and that is how you play Tanto Cuore. So you're going to play like that until 2 of these piles are empty, and that's going to end the game. When the game's over, you're going to score points for all the cards in your hand, plus everything in your private quarters, minus any of the bad habits or other negative effects that are in there. And whoever has the most points is the winner. So now let's go through some of the artwork because the artwork is, I don't know, it's controversial, I guess. So here's the 1 love card. It's a little girl, well, not a little girl, but a maid with a pillow. 1 pillow. Here's the 2 love card. That same maid with 2 pillows. The 3 love card, the same maid with 3 pillows. So it has a little bit different artwork, but at the end of the day, it's mostly the same. These are, we saw Colette, but here's the other chambermaid. She's worth a pile of points. She looks like that. They're actually, like, I really like the artwork on these. It's just cute little anime girls. So there's that one. That one's worth 6 points. The illness, I showed you the bad habit. Let's show you the illness card. This is going to make a maid in one of your private quarters sick. Not worth any points, but you can discard a 3 love card to get rid of it. So that's kind of cool. I'll go through the private maids at the end. We saw Rogue Crescent. I'm just going to show you a couple of the Crescent sisters. I'll just take one of each and then we can look at them. Okay. All right, so we'll start with the Crescent Sisters. We have Azure Crescent. Her artwork looks like that. She's one of the triplets. We have Viola Crescent. She looks like that. Sorry for the glare. Rogue Crescent. I purchased a couple of her and the other one of the players' hands because I wasn't paying attention. Gagari Ichimoya. I'm pretty sure I hired one of her as well. Saffron. Yeah, I know we had a Saffron. Guinevere. She has some little special abilities down here. No flavor text or no other abilities. Moyenne. She lets you draw some cards. Gives you some extra employ, which I didn't get into, but down here is employ. Normally you can buy one card, but if you have this one, this is going to let you split your love up between multiple cards. Next is Tenalis Trent. This is going to let every other player draw a card, but it's worth 3 love. It also costs 5 love to purchase, so that is a little pricey. Next is Sainsbury. She just has special ability, doesn't give you any extra bonuses or anything, so that's her. And then we have Anise. She costs 7, she's worth 3 points, but she lets you draw 3 cards, and that's what she looks like. So that's a little bit of the art of the game. Let's look at some of the private maids because they're all different. So let's go ahead and look at some of those. Just cycle through some of these for you. All this artwork is, all individually done, and they're all different, which is kind of cool. You can tell they're done by different artists because the art style is a little different on every card, so that's cool. There's a little angel one. And that's Private Maids. So that's how you play Tanto Cuore, a little bit of the art, and let's go up to the top, see what they think about it. Okay, so that was Tanto Cuore. So this was the base game. Before I get started on thoughts and all that, this was just the base game with the starting setup of maids that it requested or suggested that we use. So what I'm going to do after this video is I'll do some other videos of the 4 other sets, just showing the different cards and the twists that each of those sets bring to the game. The gameplay is essentially still the same, just some of them add a few different rules to give it a little more flavor. Now that's out of the way, let's talk about this game. So this game, which I already said up front, is one of my favorite deck builders. It follows a similar along the similar vein as Dominion, where you have the stacks of cards all out in the market, or in this case the town, and you're using the love cards in your hand to hire those cards to get them into your hand to make your hand and your deck better. You're trying to do that better than your opponent. You're maybe throwing some of these bad habits and illnesses in your opponent's way to help them lose points, and you're just going to go until a couple of the piles are exhausted, and that's the end of the game. Same kind of formula as Dominion, but I like the way that these cards work together better, and the game is just more fun to me. Maybe because there's actually a theme. Dominion doesn't have theme. This one has, I'm the master of the house. I'm hiring maids to take care of the house. So it has a theme. Yeah, it's light, it's loose, but it's a theme. So I enjoy that. Next thing I enjoy is it plays quickly. I think I've never had a game of this go more than an hour, which I know Dominion's quick too, but this one is really quick. It's easy to play, easy to teach. Lots of variety just in this box. So there's 16 maids. You're only playing with 10. So every game you can just do the little randomizer, see what you're going to come up with, and then play. I like the art. Some of the art's a little risque, but for the, just the normal anime, if you're into anime art, you have that to look at while you're playing. So that gives you something, helps pass the time a little bit. The one negative, well, a couple negatives. One, the art could be hit or miss for different people. When I play this game, I don't even look at the art. I'm just reading the cards, playing the game. It's all mechanisms for me because that's, me. I don't like theme. I don't like any of that. I just want the mechanisms. I want to play the game. So that's what I do. But if you like artwork, some of these maids may have their underwear showing. Some of them are kind of voluptuous. So keep that in mind. If you're offended at that, this may not be the game for you. Just stick with Dominion. The second thing that I don't like about this game is the text is super tiny. Like, look at that. Look how tiny that text is. It is super small. So when you're playing, you're holding the card up to your face like this just to be able to read the card. Not a deal breaker, but it just makes it, before you ever buy cards, you like picking up the whole stack and like reading it, seeing what's going on. I wish it was bigger, like maybe cut back on the art a little bit and make the text bigger. But that's going to be my one complaint across this whole game and all of the expansions, because all of the cards are like that. They'll have tiny text. That being said, I give this game a solid 5 out of 5. It's ranked pretty high on BGG for me too. I think it might even be, I might have ranked it a 9, so I can't give it a 5. So I'll give it a 4.5. So it's a 4.5 out of 5. Definitely BGM accepted. I enjoy this. My wife likes it. Some of our friends we played it with really enjoy it. This is one of the deck builders we played more than any others, and we like it. It's going to stay in our collection for a long time. So stick around for some other videos being posted in the next couple days, couple weeks, of the differences between the other sets, like the different rules, different types of cards. I'll show you some of the art, just quick overviews. So there'll probably be one video showcasing all of that, because I'm not going to do gameplay. So I'll just give you I'm not going to give you final thoughts or anything, because I like the game. I love it. So BGM accepted. I love it. Stay tuned for more. I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and keep gaming.